Hi everyone, it's Diane. Today I will be working on some embellishments for the fairy journals. But first, let me show you the extra cards that I made after I turned off the camera from yesterday's video. So you saw these. I did cork stamping and then had so much fun collaging them together onto journaling cards. So these are the ones that I did on the camera, and then I did three more. So I stamped this fun little girl. I'm going to add something to the bulb charm, or bulb pin, I just don't know what yet. I stamped this. This is it's like a corset binding from the Professor set from Tim Holtz, and then this is another Tim Holtz set which features this little winged girl and another one, and the word serendipity, I think. So that was a fun one. For this one, I just took one of the pieces of card and glued on the entire background this piece of scrapbook paper that looks like ledger, but it had this lace on the edge. You know, it's printed lace. A little scrap of Tim Holtz vellum that I had. I did a little stamping of some gears and then stamped this light bulb on cork and this word imagination. And then this is a Bow Bunny stamp, and I think these gears came with that stamp. I'm not sure. And I just trimmed off the top and bottom of a coffee dyed time card, and just added a couple pieces of paper, and then this, and then a little Tim Holtz number with a black and white harlequin patterned brad. Oh, here come the frogs again. So today's going to be another Somerset Inspired video, but this time it's going to be for the fairy journals. So this is what I have, these little pieces. I don't even know if they came out of the same magazine, but they're just little embellishments with fabrics and appliques and buttons and slow stitching. I don't know if I'll do that for time factor, but it's possible. And then this is actually from a Stampin' Up! Magazine. I just love the colors, the shabby chic colors, but I just like that little patterned piece, so that could be an inspiration too. So what I'm going to start with today is, for this one, they have the word whimsy stamped on that little piece of linen, so I'm going to do some word stamping. I have this piece of linen that was part of a tablecloth or a pillowcase or something, and I also have some little scrap pieces in here, so I'm going to see what I can find. I kind of want it to look like vintage linen, and that's what this is, I believe. I mean, I want it to be vintage linen, not just look like it. And I have plenty of pieces of vintage linen. I like this one. Let's see how the words stamp on that. It's kind of a rough texture. This one's good. It's already got the slow stitching on it. Yeah, let's use some of that. Okay, that should be enough to start with. And I have a few fonts of alphabet stamps. I have that one. And that one. Looks more like a typewriter, I think. I want to start with that one, I think. But I also love this graphic 45 set, but they're bigger. The letters are bigger, so we'll see. Let's start with this one. And I have my black archival ink by Ranger. Just going to even this up. Can't do it that way. I'm sorry if you hear noises. They're doing some work pretty close to my house here. And I have my granddaughter, I have Layla here today. And she did some schoolwork already, but she's not feeling well. She's had the flu, and better, but she has been sick this morning, so she's just lying on the couch watching a Disney movie. I have the sound turned down. Hopefully she can hear it, and hopefully you can't. So let's just use the word fairies. That's easy, right? I can hear the music from the movie, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be distracting to you. Well, where are all the letters that I need? There's an E. There's an F. A. R. Okay, F. A. I don't think oh, there's an I. I. R. I. E. S. So we have them all. I am not going to try to make them all perfectly straight. I think the sample that we looked at, the numbers were not straight. My lamp is casting a shadow, I see. I also brought in some embroidered pieces, some vintage laces, some eyelet type of pieces, crochet. This already has embroidery on it, so I'll save that for a piece that doesn't. This is pretty. Inspiration piece. I just want to take a look at it, and I think I buried it. This feels like it's double, but when I try to take it apart, it's not. I am trying to deal with the fact that we can't commemorate my husband's birthday the way that we've been. His birthday is Thursday, which is the day, no, this video will be after that. I'm kind of ahead on videos, which is awesome. His birthday's Thursday, and my kids and I have been this will be the 4th birthday without him being here. And I don't remember what we did the first year. Oh, I know what we did. We stayed home, but after that we have been going to the Outback restaurant for his birthday because he really liked that. We didn't go a lot in the last years. We had switched to the Texas Roadhouse, but we had been going to the Outback for his birthday, and so we were planning on doing that on Thursday, and of course now we can't because restaurants are closed except for takeout, and we don't want to, it's a half hour away from our homes, and I don't know, we just don't want to do takeout. So we're going to do something here. I don't know what, but I was very disappointed. I've gotten over it more, but it made me very sad yesterday. That won't work. It's too busy on that little. I want to make sure that it's embroidery, it's machine embroidery, but I want to make sure that it shows up. I don't want to cover it too much. So let's just put something behind it. Like a scrap of muslin. I like that. We don't need to overthink it. This would make a nice little embellishment on a page. So I stitched around the yellow. Now I'm going to make sure that the stamped piece is sewn down. I think maybe this end. Now I have, if I can find it, I have some fun little applique pieces like this, and they're vintage. And I used to know right where they were, but they moved. There they are. They're in this vintage card box. Isn't that cute? Oh, and I've got these pretty sequins. I've got these blue butterfly appliques and these floral ones. This is a perfect opportunity to use some of these. Looks pretty, just a white flower on that. I'll just glue that down. So I'll set that aside for now. That was fun. Let's do another stamp one. I want to try this with the more textural weave. Let's use the words fairy dust. F-A-I, no, that's F-A-I-R. I need the S for the dust. T. D. I need a U and a Y. F-A-R-A-R. Okay, I must have missed it. Hope I'm not missing it. I suppose this could be a U or a N, but I don't have a Y. Where's the Y? Guess we'll do them in these letters. Looks like these, oh, they have been used a little. A lot of them are still together. But that makes it easier for us to find them. Whimsy would be a good word too for a fairy journal. It's stuck there. Darn it. I'll have to glue that on. I doubt that that's gonna stick, but it's sticking for the moment. Okay. Berry. I'm supposed to have somebody coming today also to install my air conditioner. It's supposed to be oh, what do you call it? I don't have air conditioners in the window. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, they're supposed to be coming this morning. And it's 10 o'clock and I haven't seen anybody yet. I was going to go to my craft stores today and also to Best Buy to look for a printer, return my printer to Walmart. But I'm waiting for them, and also I'm not sure if any of that stuff's going to be open, because they might be considered non-essential. I don't know why anybody would think Michael's and Hobby Lobby are non-essential, but you know, some people think that way. I'd have to call and see if they're open. But Layla's not feeling well, so I think I'll just stay home. I guess I'll have to order a printer online. Berry dust. Now I can add some embroidery by using one of these vintage pieces. I like the purple. I think I would like to slow stitch it. I'll use this purple. Shouldn't take too long to just do a running stitch around there. This needle holder is so old, so ancient. It's all dusty on top. I mean, it's not, I can probably wash that, but that doesn't brush off. I'm gonna take this down from 3 strands, or from 6 strands to 3. Gotta go slow when you separate it, or it just becomes tangled. Save that piece for another time. Put a little knot in the end. And here we go. Just go in from the bottom. Running stitch is so easy. You just go in and out. And I'm not going to take tiny, precise stitches. I want it to look a bit messy. I think I need to get back to doing embroidery again, just to help me slow down. I don't need to be in such a hurry all the time. Even on days that I'm tired and I don't feel well, I keep going. I feel like I have to be productive. So the stitches are uneven, some are shorter, some are longer, and that's the way I want it. If you were doing, a precise embroidery, you'd be much more careful than I am being. It really adds a lot. I'm confused about why it's being called slow stitching. Is that something new that they call it? I mean, to me it's just embroidery. But there are books about slow stitching, so I just don't know if it's always been called that, or if it's something new, or if it's something different from embroidery. I don't know. If you know, you can tell me. And that one will just go down, and just going to take a couple shallow stitches that won't show through, or at least not too much, I hope, just to anchor it. Oh, I just pulled it out of the needle. I think it needed a little more anchoring. I could have just tied a knot in the end of the thread. Okay, I like that. I like the additional purple that matches that purple. I'm making 4 journals, so I can make a bunch of these things. One will, like I said in a previous video, one will be a larger one with 3 signatures, and the other 3 will be just 1 signature fabric covered journals. That looks pretty on it. Let's just put that on the top and call it done. Sucking it down. Okay, we have 2. Now we don't need to stamp on all of them because this one is decorated with buttons. Little fabric circles and buttons and a little bit of slow stitching. I like this. I wanted to use a piece of this just because of that embroidery. My mother did that embroidery. This is part of a baby quilt that was no longer useful because it was stained pretty badly. Can add a piece of this pretty blue lace to it maybe, if it's not too wide. Oh, it's a pretty piece too. I love this tatting with the crochet still hanging off it. It's a tiny little piece. Oh, isn't that pretty with the fringe on it? Maybe we can use that for something. I just want to layer a bunch of stuff. Now this would be really pretty for that one. Let's look for some buttons. Oh, I forgot to look for these. I have a blue one. I like that. With that on, I don't need a button. So I'm going to sew these pieces on and then glue those on. And I think I will sew all the way around the piece. It'd be fun to do it in a blue thread, but I'm not going to change my thread. I might as well get my glue and glue these pieces down so they don't get lost and I forget what I was doing with them. I should probably make 6 at least of these fabric clusters, so I can have one for each of the one signature books and one for each signature of the other book. So I have 3. I'm halfway done. We'll show them all at the end. Let's do one like this. So this has a printed fabric and then some lace layered over it, and then the flower piece and a button. That's pretty simple. One edge is pinked. I don't use my pinking shears often enough. Let's do that. Now I need a contrasting piece of fabric. About this green. Or this green. This one has a smaller pattern. I hate covering up the beautiful patterns on some of these. But it doesn't want to tear. And I have this cream colored lace. This is a little bit bigger than that one. This button is shaped like a leaf. I don't know if I want to use it, but it's cute. It's very cute. Oh, look at this. If I can get it. This is what I was trying to get to. That's pretty. I don't want it on this one though. I think I want one with holes. This one's cute. It's a little flower shape. Okay, I think I like this one. Keeps wanting to suck stuff down in there. Start out too close to the end. Although I feel like I should be able to start there, but apparently I can't. that be pretty in a shabby chic journal? Maybe I should make a bunch and put them in my shabby chic container so I don't forget. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more. Let's try one more like this with buttons on it. I'm actually going to use this piece with the crochet trim at the bottom. There's a piece of crocheted trim there, but I don't have to use that. I can use another piece of embroidery that I have, like maybe not that. Let's see what I have here. I have a lot of this because it was a border around that blanket. This one has some vine on it too. This one's a different design. This one has, oh, some of them, oh, that's a great big bow. There's a great big bow. Get the pretty little delicate flowers. Okay, let's see what's in here. Didn't mean to bring these in with me. They're not very fairy-like. Unless it's a woodlands fairy or something. Well, I don't know. I'm not finding... Maybe I'll just use that. It's pretty. Aha, no. I had a piece of that. They're a little wide. Oh, that's cute for a fairy journal, a butterfly. I'm going to cut the butterfly part off. This one's being difficult. I think maybe part of the problem is it's too big. Now for some buttons. wonder if these are all Stampin' Up! Buttons. My friend Ruth, who used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, gave these to me. And they're all pretty. Now, do I want to put some fabric behind them? It'll be hard to cut fabric circles. Not very good at that. I'll cut misshapen fabric circles. How about that? It's a little big. Too big. This is part of a apron tie from a vintage apron. It's very cute. This one is a little more wonky. I do like it with the fabric on it though. This one might be too small and egg-shaped. Oh, I guess that's good. Okay, yeah, I like them. I will start by sewing this piece on. This is a very sheer piece with some vintage lace on the edge. I'm going to have that hanging off just a tad. Just sew this on, and the rest I'll probably glue, but I won't do it on camera because I want to put thread in all of the buttons. zigzagging over the cross stitch. Well, I think I'm going to do the third one, or the sixth one, off camera because we're almost at an hour. But I just want to line these up and see how they look. So I'll put some thread in these buttons and then glue them down. And there's that piece. And then this one. And this one. So these are fun to make and use up tiny little pieces. And I will make one more and you'll see that at some point. So thank you for watching. I think I'll do another stamped one. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.